and my voice is still raspy, but just got into it with another couple individuals from the conscious community, and they was talking about Neanderthals, and they was talking about black males back in the same times, or black people back in the same times, and Neanderthals was here, right? So I'm looking at it like this: if I'm a Neanderthal, right, and I'm in a cave, and I don't have no intelligence, I don't have no melanin in my skin, I don't have no social skills, I'm a sexual deviant, I am the lowest of the lowest on the human being chain. Like, I am down at the bottom, right? Black males or black people, they're at the top. That's what they tell me. They're at the top. They done built the pyramids. They done invented science, mathematics, astrology, geography. They invented every motherfucking thing that's going on at that time frame, right? Now, if I come out that cave and over millions of years or thousands and thousands of years, and I pass black people up to the point that I enslave those people, who really is the smartest? The Neanderthals, they came out the caves and they eventually enslaved these powerful black people that they're telling me about. The story is they went to Africa. White people went to Africa. They captured these black people and they sent them over to America and they enslaved them for I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of years. If I'm able to do that, who is really the smartest motherfucker? Just because you started off number one, what are you right now? What is the state of black people right now? And what is the state of those once upon a time Neanderthals, those white people? And what position of power do they have right now? That's the shit I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck what you invented, because the black people right now who talking that shit, they ain't invent none of that shit. So a million years ago, if they invented science or whatever like that, so be it. But who has control of science right motherfucking now? If they invented mathematics a million motherfucking years ago, who has control of mathematics right motherfucking now? They invented whatever the fuck they invented. Who has the power and control of it right now? Do black people got control of their own shit that they supposed to have invented? No, they don't. So when I look at that shit right there, it's just mind-boggling to me for black people to keep going back millions and millions of years ago of what somebody else done built, even if it's true. It doesn't even fucking matter if it's true or not to me. I don't give a fuck. They could have built all that shit. What is it doing for black people right now? How is it helping black people with their own liberation right now? How is it stopping black people from being murdered by white police officers right now? How is it stopping black people from being victims of systemic racism and job discrimination and all that shit? How is all that shit helping them right now? It's not. Knowing who the fuck was the pharaoh back 15 million years ago is not helping black people right now. Who give a fuck about a black pharaoh 15 million years ago? The white man don't care about no damn black pharaohs from 15 million years ago. The white man don't care about none of that shit in Africa all that time frame ago. See, I'm going to give you the key. I'm going to give you the key to this whole shit. Right? We're talking about power and control. White people are willing to fight and die for the system that they created in America and around the world. They willing, let me tell you again, they are willing to fight and die for this system that they created in America and around the world. White people have always been like that. They've always took honor and glory into war. If all else failed, they'd be like, we'll go to war. If I can't negotiate some shit with you, we'll go to war. I'll be willing to fight and die for what I believe in. The problem with black people, they're not willing to fight and die for what they believe in. They're not willing to fight and die to come out this system that white people have created for them. They're not about to go to a war with no white people for their liberation. Black people ain't never fought against no white people for their liberation except for in the 60s. And they got a little something in the 60s. Other than that, nowhere in history. You can show me. You had revolutions. You had revolutionary acts. You had uprisings and shit like that during slavery. We're talking about a whole motherfucking war. We're talking about black Americans. I ain't talking about Haitians against, you know what I mean, the French. I'm talking about in America. These black males in the conscious community had me going crazy laughing at their fool asses, man. Because none of them is willing to fight and die to change none of this shit that's oppressing them every goddamn day. They ain't about to pick up no gun and fight no white man and stuff for their liberation. Are you fucking crazy? The white man know that shit. Black males are one of the most cowardice fucking human beings on this planet. They can talk all that tough ass shit, right? They can talk all that, yeah, I'm gonna do the same way when we used to be in school, be like, man, I wish I was a slave, man. I'll do this and I'll do that. Yeah, all right. But black males spend all their time, 24 hours a day, damn near, if they're awake, right? If they're awake, and they're dreaming this at the same time, is finding ways to impress and show off to other black people. That's what they spend their life doing. Clothes, cars, women, things that white people allow them to have in this country. They show them off to other black people in order for them to feel valuable, in order to feel like their existence matters on this earth. White people, on the other hand, don't give a fuck about none of that shit. White people understand what real power is. Real power is being able to fight and die for what you believe in. Against the person that is stopping you from wanting to do what you believe in. Not your own people. See, white people learned that shit back in the Civil War. There ain't gonna be another Civil War again. There ain't gonna never be 500,000 white people killing each other over nobody ever again. That was a lesson. They understood that shit. And they understood the consequences of it. So they tightened their shit up. But black people, black gangs, they're gonna murder each other every single night. They're not gonna kill their oppressor and the people that they say is stopping them from getting true happiness and true liberation in this country. They're going to kill other black people who are just as destitute and desperate as them. And you want me to believe, conscious black people, You want me to believe that these are the black gods of the world? These are the black kings of the world? These dudes that you're talking about? These black men don't even have a fucking army to be even talking about none of this shit. You are not going to enforce anything in America without no goddamn army, dude. You can talk all you want. You can talk all that good talk on Facebook and Instagram and Bigo and all these different social media apps about the white man is and what you're gonna do and all that type of shit. But you can't even organize a motherfucking functional army with weapons in the 10s, the 20s, the 30, 40, 50,000 men armed to go to war for black liberation. You can't even get 5. I don't even think you get 1,000. I don't even think you get 1,000 black males that's willing to fight and die for black liberation against their oppressor in America. I don't even think you get 1,000. Because no black person, no black male is going to be able, wants to put his life on the line for none of that shit. He'll put his life on the line for clothes, for a bitch, for money, for the white man's money, but for the liberation and the cultural liberation of other black people, he is not doing none of that shit. Look around you and ask yourself, why the fuck hasn't it happened yet? Because all these conscious community people keep saying like, oh, it's going to happen. We're growing. We're doing this. You're going to motherfuckers ain't doing none of that shit. All that shit is excuses. All that shit is just talking. It ain't that motherfucking hard to raise no army when you believe in something. I done seen growing up, motherfuckers get 50 motherfuckers together when some shit go on. When somebody kill another black person, they got 50 motherfuckers in cars and bikes and all that shit looking for motherfuckers. That's because it's another black person. They could do that for another black person. But the oppressor, they not fighting that oppressor. They not fighting that motherfucker. None of that shit. They scared of that white man. They are too in love with what the white man gives them for comfort and contentment in America. The iPhone, PlayStation, internet, cars, access to women, access to traveling, designer clothes. White people give black people that shit. Black people are in love with those things. They do not want to part with none of that shit. They would not boycott none of those things. They look at you, if you say boycott that shit like MLK did, the Montgomery Boys bus boycott, they'll look at your ass crazy in the motherfucking man. For what? And you can say for black liberation, for black power, for the end, the oppressive nature being bestowed upon black people. You can say it in any words that you want to. And black people are not gonna fucking listen to your ass. It's not gonna happen. Black people in America, especially the black male, is too in love with what the white man has given them for happiness, contentment, and all that shit. And that is still the old trick that they did back in Africa when they had the slave trade. They gave fucking black people that gold, they gave them women, they gave them alcohol, they gave them shit that they never seen before. And them black kings took that shit and sold other black tribal members to white people, the Portuguese, Arabs, and whoever the fuck want to be able to buy some black people back in the days. That's just what happened. And we live in the same shit right motherfucking now. In so many places in the United States, a person can give you the white man's money with a motherfucking slave owner on that motherfucker. And give you like $10,000 and be like, hey, I want you to go kill those 3 guys right there. there is somebody in America, black dude in America, who's gonna go kill those 3 black people for that money. And he don't give a fuck. He gonna murder those people. But if you gave that black male that same $10,000 and say, hey, go kill those 3 police officers that fucking killed your little brother and your sister and your auntie last year, he ain't gonna kill nothing. He ain't gonna kill a motherfucking thing.